Today, from Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis, it's Week 18 of the NFL on EA Sports. It's the Indianapolis Colts taking on the Cincinnati Bengals.
First opened back in 2008, there's a look at Lucas Oil Stadium here in downtown Indy. Today, the curtain falls on the regular season, and we've got a good one in store between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Indianapolis Colts. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, we take a look at the Colts entering play. And losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for the Bengals here, they've come in on a nice run of recent form, 4 wins out of 5. Just about time to rock as toe gets ready to meet leather. And we are underway from Indianapolis. This one fielded at the 5. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. So the Colts now coming out for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by their third-year quarterback.
And the numbers were not pretty. I mean, they don't look right. When you throw 2 interceptions, no touchdown passes, there's no way to really make that work. But I thought there were a lot of positives in watching his game tape. I think he's close to putting out a good performance. Let's see if he can flip those numbers around in this game. And, of course, rally his team to a win.
And that's not the start that he was looking for, as he's going to be met and dropped behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. They'll keep it on the ground. Stanford. And that is not going to get it done either. Once again, he's stopped behind the line by this Bengals D. That'll wind up as a loss on the play, so now they're staring at a 3rd down and 12.
You can bet they're not going to go away from the running game anytime soon, but this is obviously not a good start. 2 carries, 2 runs, both stopped for a loss.
Three and out, a real danger here on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 12. Operating from the gun, Cole. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
The Colts send out their punter. He'll kick it away after a 3 and out on the opening drive of the game. And last week in the loss, 5 punts as he gets this one away. Fair catch called for and made at about the 32-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The Bengals offense here ready to rock and roll. Joe Burrow is the man at quarterback.
And he's had a great season so far throwing the football. Very likely could go over 4,000 yards with a good performance here. And even in an age of passing first, That is no small accomplishment.
Burrow going to lead up the Bengals here, 1st and 10 at about the 32. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. That one taken in by T. Higgins. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
Certainly no settling into the drive there. They came right out on the first play and attacked the middle of the field for a big gainer and a first down.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Now Burrow uses the stiff arm. And they'll get this down to the 42-yard line. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there, second down. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Here's Burrow. And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete. If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down. They're passing here, Joe Burrow. Got a man, it's Chase, he completes it. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 26. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first. Solid opening drive so far, Charles. They've moved this football into field goal range, but you know that they want to cap this off with 6 and not 3.
Absolutely. As one of the better coaches in the league always tells me, on offense, I want to throw body blows all game long and finish it with uppercuts. Well, here are the body blows right now. He's hoping in one uppercut will take care of the end of this drive.
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. On 2nd down and 4. Burrow flushed out right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
All about the offense so far this drive, putting something sustained together. But the defense, they responded on that play. 2nd and manageable became 3rd and long. The drive marching to the end zone is one play from stalling out.
So that'll leave Burrow and the Bengals with a 3rd and long after that sack we just saw. They'll set up a throw. Open man is Chase, complete. And they're going to get this down inside the 15. Well, that's not just his first, not his second, already his 3rd completion here on the opening drive. And I think it's safe to say that getting him the ball in this game, one of their top priorities.
And the top priority for the defense has got to be finding ways to cover him. And I don't think you can have one basic coverage to get it done. You have to throw a number of coverages at him, make him think as he's running downfield, and hope you can create a little bit of havoc.
And maybe they were coming with a blitz that time, and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
Burrow looking to pass. Steps away to his left. And I think the ball's out. And he returns it here to his own 18-yard line.
Hey, we can preach ball security all we want here, but how about that effort on defense? Excellent job inside the red zone. Just took away at least 3 points by forcing that fumble.
As the Colts offense makes their way out, we take a look at the playoff picture in the AFC. Well, here we sit, Week 17. Just one more week in the regular season after this one. So if you're one of these teams trying to make a move and improve your spot or jump in from the outside, Charles, you better make that move now.
And these final games are often a good barometer for all those teams fighting for position or a wild card spot. They have to be able to get the job done these last 2 weeks before things get even tougher when the playoffs officially begin.
The first down screen pass, good for 5.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time worked well for a solid gain.
And he'll be brought down here at the 28.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
The Colts send out their punter, standing right on his own 5-yard line. Oh, able to avoid him. They'll score that a 36-yard punt, and the Bengals take over 1st and 10. Cincinnati coming back onto the field here for their second drive, and they'll be looking to atone for last time's mistake of fumbling inside the red zone. Certainly they don't want to do that again.
And so much emphasis placed on red zone offense. I mean, you have periods devoted in practice just for that because everyone knows how vital it is to put points on the board when you've entered that part of the field. And to come away with nothing, that's difficult for a team to handle.
And difficult, and now we'll see if they can make it less difficult on themselves on this drive.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
Here we go. Here we go. Back. 180.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down.
And a good push up front, and he's able to navigate his way down inside the 30.
12 yards that time, and a Cincinnati 1st down. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only they're controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the 2nd and the 3rd levels. You know, get to linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he's able to motor his way down to the 16-yard line.
Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down. All right, I got to ask you, with these RPOs, essentially the quarterback has 3 options, right? So what's different from that versus the triple option that we see the service academies run at the college level?
As a general rule, the triple option at the college level, most things are called outside of the quarterback faking it to the runner and then keeping it himself and maybe having a trail back. What I mean is, in the NFL, that option to throw the football all comes about organically. It's a natural deal based on reads. In college, if you're going to throw the football up a triple option, you've actually called that play.
Throwing again on 2nd down.
Burrow, this throw incomplete, nearly picked off. And with his pedigree, he doesn't drop many of those. But 3rd down coming up.
Burrow on 3rd down.
That's to Chase. He's got it. Touchdown, Cincinnati. Jamar Chase
with touchdown number 8 on the year.
And the Bengals will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon.
Well, these guys have won 3 straight ball games, and another good start to this one, out to the 6-0 lead.
And I've talked with so many different coaches, as have you, along the way, and they always talk about winning streaks and the mood of a team and how much easier it is to actually prepare during that time. Guys are sharp, guys are focused, everyone's feeling good, and we're seeing it early in this one.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that makes the score 7-0. is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
The Colts now, their offense works their way back onto the field. Now, partner, I'm going to make a quick pivot here and ask you to play general manager. It's well documented they're last in the league in offense, number 32. What changes might they make?
And this is where you have to be almost like a chess master as a general manager, because you have a few things at your disposal that you need to use. Obviously, the draft, free agency, maybe you can make some trades, but also look at your practice squad. Have you been grooming players to promote and give them an opportunity to play as well? That way, you start to supplement as well as replace guys that need it.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Up the middle they go. Stanford.
And he'll be pretty well stopped in his tracks. Give him a yard up to the 42.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Back to throw. Cole. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of 2, maybe 3 on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12.
Well, this defense for the Bengals, they were terrific in the win over Tennessee a week ago.
And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get this up near midfield, but that's still a few yards shy of the first down. A gain of 9, not enough, and it's 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
The Colts send out their punter as he'll come on to kick this one away. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this one sails out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25. It will. 24-yard line is where they'll spot it.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive.
They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. Now it's Burrow. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes. A loss of 4 that time on the sack, and it brings up 2nd. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team that had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. Out of the gun, it's Burrow. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
On 3rd down, Burrow. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. A 40-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And the Colts will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And now Indianapolis set to take the field.
Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive.
They'll start this drive out on the ground.
Up past the 30, 2nd down coming up.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Looking to throw. Cole over the middle, complete. It's Barton. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
And we got a pause following the play because it appears a member of the Bengals in some discomfort. Well, Week 18, this is just when you hope everybody can get through the regular season healthy, but the medical staff is going to have to take a look here, and we'll step aside.
They'll run on first down. Stanford. And some room to work. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. Better than a 30-yard gain as we wind down towards 30 seconds left in the quarter.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
So a big play as it gets them all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Barton. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw to the end zone, but it's incomplete. They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. Back to throw. Cole. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. And that one really pushes him back. A loss of 9. And now it's 3rd and goal after the sack.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
Back at the 16 now after the sack. Here's 3rd and goal. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. 11 yards, but still not enough. 4th down.
Nice job understanding the situation. 3rd and long, kept the play in front of them and made the tackle. They gave up a good chunk of yardage, but it does force a 4th down.
And now the Colts call on their field goal unit here. This a fairly straightforward 22-yard short attempt. And his kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3.
So a long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here.
No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts.
On 1st and 10, Joe Burrow, flush to his right. And he rifles one incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, Joe Burrow. A leap, and he's got it. He got it. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 36 yards on the play.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. Now it's Burrow. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. So nothing doing there, and it'll be 2nd down.
The Bengals at 9-7 now on the year. And they come in on a pretty good roll here. Winners of 3 straight.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Dancing to his left.
He will find his man Chase complete.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
And a nice milestone reached on that last throw is here late in the season. He goes over 4,000 yards passing.
And he's really thrown the ball well all season long. Had some big games along the way. He's inspired his receiving corps to go out and make plays for him in each and every ball game.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. He's going to be sacked back at the 23-yard line. The sack recorded. It's a loss of 5, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here, picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Another try after the first down sack. Burrow. This pass complete to Higgins. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Burrow will throw. Escaping the pressure right. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. It's a loss of a yard, so they'll wind up crediting him with a sack, and it brings up 3rd down.
So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
So that'll leave Burrow and the Bengals with a 3rd and long after that sack we just saw.
They'll look to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. They call it a loss of a yard there. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
That's a nice clip and save sequence there defensively because they did everything as they would have wanted to. They forced the 3rd down, blanketed the field with coverage, nowhere to go with the football, forced the dump off to the back, and even then they closed quickly and got him down behind the line of scrimmage. You name it, they did it well in that last sequence.
That's on target, but it's no good. He had it on line, but it came up just shy of the crossbar, and this will stay a 4-point game.
Indianapolis offense ready to go again.
Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize, like going to the county fair. You don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The Colts on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 5.
And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line.
And that's That's well executed there on third down, and I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Cole, he finds his man, complete. It's Barton.
And they'll work this down inside the 30. In need of only about the length of the football here on 2nd down.
They'll try the left side. Stanford trying to get out wide, but he's going to be tackled right near the line of scrimmage.
3rd and inches, and they've got some extra beef up front. 3 tight ends.
Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. And the defense coming through on 3rd down. A loss of 7 to bring up 4th.
He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure, and these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
And that one will be no good. He never had it on line. It's well wide to the left, and that will keep this a 4-point game.
There's a look at receiver Jamar Chase as the Bengals get set to go on offense.
Making his presence felt early in this one. First half, already over the century mark.
How about the yards per completion, too? That's a pretty darn good number there. Number of catches, but he's shredding defense, is getting big yardage with each and every one of them.
The Bengals drive about to get going. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, well, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. Back to throw. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete.
And he is going to have a Bengals first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. He'll drop to throw.
And that nearly intercepted. Well, the free safety rolling into position almost had it, but it's 2nd down.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here on this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on 1st down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Burrow finding his safety valve here. That's complete.
And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
They missed a field goal on their last drive. Here they need something to even get into field goal range on 3rd down. Throwing middle, and it's complete. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Open man is Higgins, and he's got it. Touchdown, Cincinnati. 10 yards on the touchdown pass as his guys are able to extend their lead. They went empty backfield, all their weapons out wide, so there really was no secret here to what they were going to do.
No secret, but they still had to execute it, and they still had to protect the guy throwing the ball, because oftentimes when you empty the backfield, people bring pressure at you. They managed to hold in there and successfully complete the touchdown pass.
Sanders on for the extra point. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. That time a 9-play drive.
And it was T. Higgins who capped the drive with the touchdown reception.
The kicking team out now for the Bengals as they'll send this one away.
From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. They trail now 14-3, an 11-point deficit as they start things out with a 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. Back to throw. Cole. Now they go screen. It's complete. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
Well, sometimes despite the best planning, the defense actually has a plan as well, and they blanketed everyone on that play. They were able to close it down and spill him for a loss.
A nickel look now for the Bengals as they try to stop him here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Cole. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. The Colts send out their punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Dances by him. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially, and the Bengals will take over in terrific field position. A first update now from Cleveland, and the Steelers there out to an early lead. That one tight to this point, and you'd have to imagine it'll stay tight throughout. They will throw on 1st down with Burrow. Forced out to his left. Throwing left side, it's complete.
And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
1st down. Here's Burrow. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end.
And he's going to be taken down, but there's a penalty flag in the backfield. Is this a hold, or did they rough the quarterback?
So a critical mistake, roughing the passer. Now it's 1st and goal. From the shotgun, it's Burrow. Now a loose football. The ball comes out. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And that play just looked a little helter-skelter from the start. That's the risk as a quarterback. Once you take off with that football, you might fumble it, and he did.
And he was going for the reward, which is gaining yardage, breaking down the defense. But you're right about the risk. Always lurking out there, someone always trying to get to the football. Try to find a place to cover up and slide and protect what you've earned.
Following the fumble recovery, Cole throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be out of bounds up past the 10-yard line. To throw on second down, Cole. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety.
I have to think the sooner halftime can get here for them, the better, because that first half has been rough. And that safety, it only adds to their issues. The other sideline, though, I think they're fine if we just skip the break and keep playing.
So free kick situation forthcoming from the 20 as they'll punt this one away. The Bengals going to take over late in this first half. And with good starting field position and 3 timeouts as well in their pocket, no reason not to try and put a late scoring drive together. A very good starting field position from the Bengals here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 37. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock stops here with 46 seconds remaining in the first half. Looking to throw again on second down. A quick throw, but incomplete. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. They'll set up to throw. Flushed out right. The ball comes out, and I believe the Colts have recovered. Yes, they have. We know he's got the speed to get downfield, Charles, but there's the negative side. A little loose with the football that time.
And that's normal, especially when you have his type of talents, because you feel like you're into the open field and maybe you don't feel the people who are around you or closing in. All quarterbacks have to do extra ball security drills with the way the game's played now, because defenses, they attack the football as much as they attack the runner.
Following the fumble recovery, Cole. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Looking to throw on second down. Cole under pressure, and they got to him again. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe with a run. And he's got some space here. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 77 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half. Well, they call a run on 3rd and a mile. Not only do they convert, but they tack on some yards at the end of it, too.
They went against what anyone would think would be a tendency, which is you're going to throw the ball on 3rd and a mile, right? But instead they decide to run the football because sometimes what you get is a defense is playing a little bit lighter. A lot of extra defensive backs, and they're loosened up for the pass. They found some running room and really converted.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He finds his man complete. It's Fisher. And they're going to move him down the inside the 25. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total. So we've reached the intermission in what right now is a 13-point game as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. It's all down to this. Week 18 of the NFL regular season. Lots to be decided, so let's get right to it. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. And the Bengal offense ready to go here to start the third quarter. And they've got the lead. CD, what do you think the message was at halftime?
I don't think the message was too drastic, I think, at the half, or that they need to change things too much. I do think the offensive line could play a little bit better. And I think they'll try and help them out more. They'll probably keep a tight end in a few more times and maybe add a running back to the formation to pick up those pass rushers, because they probably allowed a few too many sacks for comfort in the first half.
Fresh out of the locker room, they hit him with a gain of over 20.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Colts territory. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They'll go option to the short side. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much, as he's down to the 48. Only a yard there on the keeper, and that's going to leave him with a third down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
He'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete.
And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
Oh, that was a nice job there. Quarterback and receiver reading the pressure that was brought. They both knew it was going to open up the middle of the field. Nice little shake and bake at the line of scrimmage, got right into his route. And the quarterback hit him in stride, and he was able to run free after the catch.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Looking to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end.
And he's going to get this down near the 25.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him, because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
Burrow on play action. Looking left side, and it's complete. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart, because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Now whistles and a flag, and I believe a Bengal got going a little early there.
Now the offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted.
Things made a little more difficult after the false start as they try again on 2nd and goal. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Flush to his right. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 6 yards there off the scramble, but it'll still leave him with a 3rd down.
No surprise to see him running again here. It's something he's done throughout this season. And that run puts him over 500 yards on the ground for the year. He's got to be thinking to himself, if I'm...
And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. A 2-yard touchdown grab.
And the Bengals take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical, that's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
And they're able to ground it in there on the two-point try. And you and I were talking before the game that two-point conversions from the 15-16 season, what has changed, what hasn't changed, partner?
Yeah, I'll tell you what's changed is just your normal strategy, because now you're either kicking the football with the ball on the 15-yard line, or if you decide to go for two, they put it on the 2-yard line. So what are you thinking as a coach? Do I risk it? Do I go for it here? Do I try and gain a strategic advantage and maybe go for two early? That's what people are wondering about.
And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look. And it's all come down to this, hasn't it? Final week of the regular season. As this year's playoffs play out anything like the regular season has gone, could be in for a wild and fun month of January.
And we can break the rules because we can look ahead. All right, there's not a coach out there that's ever said to their team, all right, let's look three weeks down the road. It's always right here, right now. Forget that. Think about what the playoffs are going to look like. The teams that we see that are already in, the teams that are trying to get in, we could have some great matchups. You've got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Looking middle, and that's complete. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Well, they were in search of a short gain on third down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
They brought in a heavy set on third down, and that usually means running play, but we have seen them throw out of that formation. And sure enough, they snuck the tight end out on that one, wound up hitting him for a first down.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 46. Now a give right side. Stanford.
And a good job of finding the open space to run as he's down close to the 30 here. 90 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
A good run there off right tackle in an old school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009, 2010. That's how they constructed their offensive line.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Cole. He finds his man. Complete. That's Fisher.
Down inside the 10. Touchdown!
A great effort there. 31 yards.
And the Colts get a bit closer. So a very important first drive of the third quarter, Charles, and safe to say, a much-needed touchdown.
Which leads to the question, where was this in the first half? Because if they'd had a few more drives like that, they wouldn't be in this situation. But that is the kind of drive that sends a message to the other side. We're going to be here, and we're going to battle you to the end.
Extra point right down the middle. And that cuts the lead to 24-10. That time, 75-yard drive, 5 plays. And the result for the Colts is a touchdown. The Colts kicking team is out there now, and they will send this one away.
This one fielded at the 5. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Joe Burrow trots out again with the rest of his offense.
Last series, the ball never hit the ground. 6 of 6, touchdown pass, so whatever he did then, do it again, right?
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of when I watch the best quarterbacks throw 7-on-7 or even routes versus air. They're accurate. The receivers catch it. The ball never touches the ground. Or if you want to take it to basketball, a well-executed fast break, right? Pass, 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 finish at the rim, basket. Yeah, ball never hits the ground there either.
22 yards on the catch and run, a first down.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them. And these guys have been taking advantage so far.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Back to throw here.
He's going to have the hook up here to Chase. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
On 2nd and 10. Burrow. And, he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Back to throw again. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free, and it brings up 4th down. And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Out of bounds as he appeared to be looking for the corner. He got it. They're going to mark this at the 4-yard line.
That's a double win there, partner. You keep out of the return man's hands, and you pin him inside the 5-yard line. Pretty darn good.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now defensively, you've almost got to get down to those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now they're just cutting them to shreds.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll keep it on the ground. Stanford, boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
The Colts send out their punter as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. So possession goes over here on the punt. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a first down.
When you get a big tight end like this, sometimes it takes more than one man to bring him down. Oftentimes, your best bet, just jump on and hold on and wait for your teammates to arrive to help get him on the ground.
Throwing now, Burrow on first down. Quick hitter here, it's complete.
And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
Inside 4 minutes to go, third quarter. To throw again on second down. Burrow. Here's Higgins out of the right side.
And the Bengals are going to have a first and goal as he'll be taken down at the 7-yard line.
Give him now 1,062 catches in his career. And I'm looking at the list here. That ties him with Andre Johnson.
And I wonder if you ever wrote Andre Johnson's name down and that number and said, that's where I'm trying to go. That's what I'm trying to get to. If so, congratulate yourself. You are there. That means you rank amongst the best that have ever done it.
Back in the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a halt. He'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's third down.
The plan was clearly to challenge them by sending a blitz on second down, but even the extra guys couldn't catch him in the backfield, though. He doesn't scramble for a first, but he does get the last laugh by evading the blitz and getting beyond the line of scrimmage.
Third and goal, Burrow. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's fourth down.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
Now Jason Sanders for the field goal try. From the right hash here, should be an easy one. The kick by Sanders is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
And right now, Charles, this is about building that lead little by little, and they're able to do just that.
And it gets them past the key number of 16, so this is now a 3-score lead. Not time to exhale just yet, but that might prove to be an important 3 points before things are said and done.
Now a stoppage, and looks like we have a Colt who is shaken up on that last play.
And this is certainly not what you want to see in the final week of the year. We'll be back. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Now a handoff up the middle. Stanford looking for a seam but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a third and about 3 to go. Off play action. Cole. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
The Colts send out their punter as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. So a change of possession here on the punt.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up. They run a draw here on second down. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. 1 quarter remains here as the regular season starts to wind down. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. And here's a handoff out of the gun. And he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
Yeah, this punt will go out of bounds. I think it'll be inside the 25, and it will. Right at the 24-yard line is where they'll spot it. The Colts offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage of the contest. Throwing to start the drive. Cole. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Cole. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. Back to the air on second down. Cole throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Fisher. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Again, he'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. He had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive.
And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
So this drive going to continue following the conversion on 4th. Here's 1st and 10.
They'll look to throw again. He finds his man, complete. That's Fisher. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He finds his man, complete. It's Fisher.
And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
This offense on 3rd down today, they've had a lot of chances but not much success, converting only 3 times. This will be 3rd and 5. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. They'll wind up losing a couple yards here on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, Brandon, we could see that play developing, and they were hoping that he was going to be able to put a move on the first guy and turn it into a big play. But no such luck. The speed on defense continues to get better and better in the NFL. Pretty nice example there of those guys being able to run from their assignments and finish off that play.
And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And the deficit will stay at 3 scores.
The Bengals set to take over. Well, the win for them at this point seems pretty assured. I mean, still a decent amount of time left here in the fourth quarter, Charles, but you got the football. You're up 3 scores. They have to be feeling really good about where they're at.
I love your observation skills, partner, because I think you saw them charge onto the field fired up about another chance to get into the end zone. Looks to me like this group is ready to crush any hope left on the opposing sideline, and they want to do it with some gusto, too.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. Now, they nearly sprung him that time as he takes this all the way down to the 37. 74 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to, and it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
It'll be called a gain of 2, and that'll leave them with some options here on 4th and inches.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
They have gone to the 4th quarter, by the way, in that game in Cleveland. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. Another victory perhaps in the cards. They're looking as good as anybody as the playoffs draw near. Sanders' kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Colts getting another possession here on offense. And the way their last drive ended, boy, it was frustrating. They had a pretty good drive going. It was sustained, and then it stalled out, Charles, and they missed the field goal and got nothing out of it.
Is that insult to injury? Because they had such a sustained drive, as you noted. So you know for the head coach, it almost felt like a little bit of failure to send out the field goal unit and then to not even see the ball go through the post. What a bummer on that last drive for them. Got to pick themselves up from that one.
23 yards on the play.
For as many sacks as this defense has, you can understand their willingness to try and get upfield and get another. So what a really smart play call here to use their aggression against them, go with the screen, and they're able to get the first down.
Looking to throw. Cole staying on his feet. But he can't get away forever, and down he goes.
Well, this is getting ridiculous. 8 sacks now. That time multiple guys get to him.
Guys with his talent in the pocket aren't supposed to be getting hit like this, and you know an intense conversation with the offensive line is going to occur after this one. Might not be from him, but the offensive line coach will have plenty to say about this game.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Back to throw. Cole. Looking sideline, incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Cole. Now he's forced out right. Fighting to stay upright. And he'll just get rid of it.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. The Colts unable to convert here on 4th down. And that will force a turnover on downs. Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here.
And it would seem as if their 3-game winning streak is about to go to 4, but still a little work to do as they start 1st and 10.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Hands it off out of the gun.
And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Colts territory.
92 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on 3rd down. They'll drop to throw. Over the middle, it's complete.
And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it, and it's 2nd down.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And a short gain down to about the 33. So 3rd down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Now Jason Sanders for the field goal try. This is a 49-yard attempt, right hash. And he didn't get it there. No, it's no good. Just shy of the crossbar, and they will not be able to add on to their 20-point lead.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field. Well, they didn't fall behind any further thanks to that missed field goal, but still staring at this 4th quarter deficit.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go.
Their defense was able to hold serve, albeit with a little help from that missed field goal as they settle in now 1st and 10.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. And I don't know that that fumble is going to matter a whole lot. You look at the deficit here in the 4th. It doesn't matter. The coach on the sideline still scratching his head.
Yeah, not only scratching his head, but probably writing a note or two about we're going to address this come practice next week because maybe that's the reason we're down this far. Doesn't matter at this point, but being sloppy throughout the game, not going to help them improve.
From the gun, they'll try to run it.
And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. And they'll keep leaning on the running game back to the ground. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here.
From the gun, he'll hand this off.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
Big 13. Big 13.
So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And a little bit of a surprise, they lose the turnover battle, but wind up winning the ball game.
And this is very unusual because you know all teams stress winning the turnover battle as a key indicator to winning ball games. So when you get something that goes against the grain like the one we saw here, it's quite the oddity. Now let's face it, they'll be very happy that they pulled this off, but they do know that in the future, they've got work on taking care of the football because this won't happen very often.
So for the Bengals,
they do get that 10th win of the year as they finish up at 10-7 overall.
And that is maybe not exactly what they were hoping for, but a better than average season nonetheless. Meanwhile, for the Colts,
they wanted desperately to finish above 500, but that will not happen as it is an 8-9 season in the end.
And they can take solace in the fact that this team never quit all the way to the end. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.